I'm going to reconvene this Tigard City Council and Town Center Development Agency meeting to order. City Recorder Krager, please call roll.
Council President Hu is absent. Mayor Liu.
Here.
Councilor Manini.
Here.
Councilor Shaw.
Here.
Councilor Schlatt.
Here.
Councilor Wolf.
Here.
Thank you. If everyone will please stand and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. Thank you, everyone. I do want to let you know, in case you haven't seen the updated agenda, the agenda item, so many pages, 9, the city manager recruitment, has been moved to next week. Given the feedback from the discussion we were having, it's important to have all councilors here present. And when I suggested this week, I didn't realize Council President Hu will be out. So we will continue talking about that next week. City Council or city teammates, any non-agenda items this evening?
Nothing from us, Mayor. Thanks.
Okay. Thank you so much. I just want a public service announcement that today is the last day to register to vote in Oregon. Ballots will start to be mailed tomorrow. So please go online before you go to bed tonight and check your registration and make sure that everything is up to date and you're good to go to vote at your current address, because ballots will start to be mailed tomorrow. Regardless of how you vote, please vote. If you'd like to call in for public comment or log in by video, please do so now to get into the queue. The phone number is 503-966-4101. And we have City Manager Reimer to follow up with previous public comment.
Thanks, Mayor. Evening, Mayor, councilors, members of the community, and my teammates. We had 2 written public comments last week, both related to the Just Compassion shelter expansion. And so we have followed up with the individuals as well as the Bull Mountain Connect email group. So we've done that. Thank you.
Thank you. We did have 2 comments received yesterday by noon. Both of them were from Lindsay Voorhees regarding the family promise of Tualatin Valley parking lot and shelter program prioritization. I told her she could talk, the baby in the background. I'm here for it. We don't have anyone signed up to speak in person. I'm excited to see all of you. I think you're here for different items on the agenda, but if there's something you'd like to speak about before that gets started, want to offer that opportunity. Okay, seeing none. Mr. Vang, are there any phone callers in the queue or anyone wishing to comment by video?
There are no callers, Mayor.
Okay, thank you so much. And there's no one by video, correct?
That's correct.
Thank you. All right, we will move on to the council liaison reports. This is an opportunity for council to brief each other on different discussions we may have had in different boards and committees that we are on around the region or for the city. Would anyone like to get started? Councilor Scheck.
Thank you, Mayor. Since our last council liaison report, I attended a meeting of the Regional Water Consortium. I don't know. Wanted to, be closer to people. Thank you, Mayor Lube. Since our last council liaison report, I attended a meeting of the Regional Water Consortium on October 9th. There was a general overview on programs they're working on with a specific focus on events, workshops, and various advertising campaigns they are running. There was a discussion about the budget for the next year. They're forecasting it to be a rather neutral budget, and there was discussions about 2 ongoing and one one-time project they are considering. And there were also project highlights from the cities of Tualatin, Portland, Hillsborough, and Beaverton. That night, I was also scheduled as the primary liaison to the library board to attend that meeting, but Councilor Shaw, as my alternate, generously agreed to attend that meeting so I could attend this one. And that is the only liaison meeting that I have attended since our last meeting.
Councilor Shaw?
Thank you, Mayor. I had lots of meetings, so I will try and speed through this. The following are going to be highlights of the meetings, not meant to be exact minutes that were taken. So if you're interested in actually the meeting itself, they are recorded and minutes will be coming soon. So the Parks and Recreation Board, which we conveniently call PRAB, the city won the best design construction for our inclusive playground at the Cook Family Park, which is very exciting. And Rick Gruen and the team are going to be going to the Oregon Parks and Recreation Conference next week to accept the award. So fantastic. So kudos to our team. In addition, we had a handful of REI employees who assisted in the removal of invasive species at the Cook Family Park. The recreation team has hosted the Fall Fine Arts at Tuolumne Middle School along with the Kids Night Out. There's also the Fall Over 50, which made stacked pumpkins, and it sold out. And they're also making wreaths on November 30th. It's also, this is the last month of the Tigard Farmers Market, so please go. It's October 20th and 27th, the last two opportunities. However, mark your calendars for the Harvest Market that's going to be taking place at Universal Plaza on November 17th. So very excited about that. We'll have the nice fall vegetables and harvest. Also, the Dog Halloween Canine Costume Contest at the Pottus Dog Park will occur, and it's going to be on October the 26th, and our very own mayor and Councilor Schlack are going to be among the judges, so very exciting there. In addition, we are expecting the Ash Creek Forest Management Assessment, which is going to highlight the emerald ash infestation that is occurring throughout our region and what the potential treatment and cost will be for us as a city. Also is highlighted that Officer Orth assisted in the identification and apprehension of taggers that were tagging some property in town, so they were caught, and they're going to be providing restitution. Let's see, so that was the end of the PRAB report. The Transportation Advisory Committee, we had an update on Safe Streets Action Zero, a plan which is to ensure that we have a goal for no deaths or serious injuries, because they are not acceptable. We also talked about the Tigard Neighborhood Traffic Calming Program, which is the goal to improve safety and livability amongst most of our neighborhoods, and that includes the calming improvements, slowing down car traffic, as well as ensuring that safety on our roads is paramount. And then the Transportation Committee is looking forward to its joint meeting in December with the City Council. In addition, the Water Advisory Board, there was a conflict with the Library Board, so I'll give a report, thankfully, because Brian Rager was kind enough to provide it. But with regards to the Water Advisory Board, they're also excited. They have a joint meeting at some point coming up with Council. So they're going to be providing an overview of our water system, an overview of the Tyler integration and implementation. They're going to talk about our future water as well as partnership, the assets in particular with Lake Oswego. And then just an update, we're very fortunate we don't necessarily have this issue in Tigard, but just the lead and copper rule revisions that have come up in Oregon and amongst cities. And Urban Renewal Funding Grant, would you like me to leave that for you? So we attended with Councilor Wolf the Urban Renewal Funding Grant. We reviewed 2 Tigard Triangle Opportunity Fund grants, each requesting $25K, one for medical services and one for pediatric dental services. So the committee felt that both would be tremendous services for the Tigard Triangle area. I don't know if they've yet been awarded, so I'm not going to name them, but if you're in need of medical services and pediatric dental services in the Triangle, look for that soon. And then lastly, the Library Board, we reviewed, revised, and adopted the library use policy, as well as we endorsed and reaffirmed the freedom to read and the freedom to view statements, which was produced by the American Library Association. Director Halstead Bernard gave a report, and the good news that we have now an American Conservation Corps, as I call it, the AKA Digital Navigator, Mary De La Cruz, who is starting. She's going to be traveling between our 8 libraries to provide technical services to our members of our community. So if you have any computer questions, issues, problems, she's going to be your go-to person at the library. So that's very exciting. And in addition, we've got 7 on-call library assistants, and the Youth Services Librarian Jessica Fredrickson have started. And lastly, we are reviewing the library funding. We're setting the stage for a discussion in October with the WCCLS on the overall budget for county libraries. As some of you may know, with the city, we provide 50% of the funding for the library, and the county provides the other 50%, pretty much more or less. And with that, Mayor, I would like to conclude my liaison reports.
Thank you. Councilor Wolf?
Just a couple of meetings right after, I think, the Wednesday following our last liaison report last month was Committee for Community Engagement. And part of that meeting, a chunk of that was to work with our consultants of Enviro Issues that is really trying to understand how the city navigates with all our community members and get that feedback of what a true equitable community would look like and the vision for that. So I bring that up because the CCE participated in that, and then I also attended the community roundtable that Kent facilitates, and they had a lengthy discussion about that. Just appreciate the time that's going into that and getting that feedback from community members. And also the CCE discussed the idea of them partnering with CHART around what are our next steps and strategies around homelessness issues. And so I'm eager to see how that continues and what comes to fruition from those discussions. The other thing I'd like to point out, and as Councilor Shaw mentioned already, was our TIF meeting, so I'll skip that. And then last week was also Washington County's Community Development Board. We met, which of course the purpose of that coalition or advisory board is the HUD dollars that flow into Washington County and then are distributed. And tomorrow night there is an open house at the Tigard Library to get feedback on Washington County's 5-year strategic plan on what their investments will look like, and they're looking for feedback. So I strongly encourage anyone who's interested in the services that are provided and the grants that are funded through the community development block grants to attend that. So, I think those are the biggies. And then we also, of course, are gearing up for the application process for next fiscal year's application reviews and evaluations. So that's it. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you. Youth Councilor Mainini?
We've had a few meetings, but I would say the bigger highlights from them is that we are planning a Halloween dinner at Good Neighbor Center where we plan to make spooky spaghetti. And we're also planning to have like a mental health talk, probably more in the spring, but we're hoping to work with the Hillsborough Youth Advisory Council, Hillsborough YAC, and see if there can be a sort of joint talk just for overall society, overall community to come and just learn more about mental health from like parental perspective, from a teen perspective, and etc.
That's great. Thank you. Mine is very transportation heavy. So starting off with the Region 1 Act, we had a really robust discussion on STIF funding, which is the state transportation infrastructure funding, and which projects to support for decision making in front of the Oregon Transportation Commission. We decided to move all of the projects forward. I believe there was 3 from Washington County and 3 from TriMet that really align with the city, like our philosophy on walkability and also gaining access to public transit, making it easier. There was the Joint Committee on Transportation, which had their last tour stop in Hillsborough a couple of weeks ago now. And I was fortunate enough to receive an invite, and it was a really robust conversation about concerns around transportation. Of course, the funding package was discussed and sort of what's top of mind for everyone. I talked about our abandoned highway and sort of the work that has been done on Hall Boulevard and really pushing them to support the other committee. I apologize, I'm blanking on the name. Their recommendation, which is to fully fund Hall Boulevard and to transfer it. And also the other application for the state was in Hood River. So both of them are actually in the Region 1, but I think they're really strong discussions and testimony on how to do this correctly, because strongly it's not our community's responsibility to make sure that Hall Boulevard is brought up to snuff, that is the responsibility of ODOT, which has its funding challenges, hence the funding transportation package. But one of the things I appreciated was there was a strong talk about, and I also talked about, Tigard may be going first, but I'm happy to stand up for anyone else who wants to go through this process and advocate for them as well. The city team is happy to talk with other jurisdictions on how we manage the relationship with ODOT, and I think it's just a really great story on how government can work together and hopefully in partnership with the state to get these dangerous roads back into community where they belong, under community control. The last was a joint meeting that we sort of had between the Washington County mayors and the Washington County Board of Commissioners, and it was really around MSTIP, which is the Major Streets Transportation Improvement, thank you, plan. And it's been a hot topic, I think, for a couple of years, just based on, I think, a fundamental disagreement over honoring the spirit of the levy that was in place, or the bond that was in place at the time. Measures 5 and 50 froze everything, and asking the board to renew that commitment to that part of funding continuing to go to transportation, which is funding a lot of big projects, and is a great reason that we have. I think when you drive into Washington County, you can tell you're in Washington County because the roads are better, because we take care of them, and because we focus on the transportation funding. So if you like those roads in this budget process for Washington County, please reach out to them and ask them to save MSTIP and no cuts. So those were mine. It was really transportation heavy. Does anyone have any questions for anybody else? Okay. Seeing none, we will move on to the utility billing demonstration. And we have Assistant Finance Director Keith McClung here, and I think a whole host of individuals who are going to help show us what utility billing is going to look like in Tigard in 2 weeks. I'm excited for this demonstration. Welcome, everyone.
Thank you, Mayor Lube, City Councilors. Good evening. For the record, my name is Keith McClung, and I'm the Assistant Finance Director for the City of Tigard. The panel before you is going to provide an overview and a demonstration of the Resident Access Portal, and it is part of the Next Go Live project related to Tyler Technologies. So before I get started, the panel is just a small representation of the dozens of people who are working on this project, many of whom are in the audience now. So I'm glad it's not just the three of us. So next slide, please. So just to provide kind of a minor agenda, I'm going to be walking you through the project overview, the portal support, the updates page, and the rest of the panel will be walking you through some how-to guides, the sign-up process, and then the actual portal demo, which will be very live. So next slide, please. So what's happening? What's changing? Basically, Tyler Technologies offers a utility billing platform, much of which can be accessed through this Resident Access Portal. And so this is the first customer-facing portal that we're going to roll out that's related to Tyler. So it will touch everyone who uses services in the city of Tigard. Why is there a need for a new platform? Basically, the technology has changed. We currently use Springbrook, which is more of a back-end function. But most everything on the front end is handled by the customer service desk at the counter here. And so there's a lot of information that this new system will provide. And so I think Springbrook is close to 15 or 20 years old, and the utility billing portion will sync up or be linked with the financial module that went live earlier this year. So you can imagine the synergies or the efficiencies that come with that. What can you expect from the new portal? Well, you can view your utility usage information, so your consumption. You can pay your utility bill. You can sign up for auto pay, and you can get paperless billing. So there's some other features that Darren's going to walk you through a little bit later. but it's vastly different from Springbrook and very customer friendly. So when is this happening? Our go live is October 28th, and the bulk of the work though will happen in November when customers get their first bill. That's when we're really expecting a lot of action to happen and take place. And so Darren will also explain a little bit more too with that November bill what's going to happen. Next slide. This is a slide that the team is very proud of. We've anticipated this transition from a customer's perspective very thoroughly. And so there's 4 sections here I want to walk you through. The first one being the drop-in sessions that we're going to hold at the library. I'm happy to report that Darren and another teammate will be able to present in not only English but our Spanish-speaking residents as well. And you can see those 3 dates there throughout for the next couple of weeks. And as always, we have our in-person support staff will be available at the front counter. I don't know if you guys have ever had to deal with them before, but they're very efficient, very good, and they're very customer focused. So that will not change. One of my favorites, we will have remote support. We are bringing on extra resources to actually field phone calls. We've added the technology where voicemails will get converted to emails, and those will get forwarded to the appropriate people. Along with that, we're going to be keeping metrics of common questions and potentially adding those to our frequently asked questions so that not only are we keeping metrics, but we're actually improving customer service based on those metrics. And then the final one, the self-serve support, which will probably be the majority of where people find their resources. We'll cover more of those topics, but we've got self-help guides and frequently asked questions that should guide everybody to a successful transition. Next slide. Now, all of these updates can be found on our utility billing website, and we've rolled this out several months in advance, and so they'll be available in English and Spanish. The FAQs will be updated frequently, and then the how-to guides will have direct links from this page. So this is our standard Tigard webpage. Next slide. And just to further kind of elaborate on the self-serve support library, we will have very simple or simplified written guides, also with videos that kind of walk you through how to do this. You can do it at your own pace. You can do it at midnight. There's no set schedule, so it's very user-friendly in that regard. And then just a list of the how-to topics or guides. How to create the portal account, attaching a UB account, paying the bill, scheduling a payment, setting up auto pay, setting up e-billing, and quick pay. So with some of those topics, I'm going to hand it over to Will, and he's going to let you know exactly what's available for residents.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Will Traylor. I'm the technical training coordinator here at Tigard. I'm super excited about this webpage. Could we go back one slide real quick? Awesome. So what we wanted to do is, change is difficult, as all humans understand, and we wanted to make this process as smooth as possible for everyone, especially when it comes to dealing with our money. We wanted to make this a seamless transition. So we built out as many different video guides that are also paired with just a text-based guide. So if you don't have time to watch through the video, you have a pretty easy printable format that you can use as well. But we wanted to highlight the stuff that will be used by people all the time, like paying your utility bill. That's a simple one, but things that help us plan for the future, like enrolling in auto pay or being able to set up future payments or scheduling them so they don't get forgotten. Things like being able to have paperless billing. That is one of my favorite things, is not wasting paper. And you can set that up really easily from your profile. Something else that's really cool is you can set it up to get reminders about your bill. They'll email you, hey, this is about to go late, or this is going on. You should check into this. So we have videos that all just kind of walk through. They have little boxes that go around where you need to click for each click point, and it has little text boxes that kind of show you how to navigate through the process. And it goes at a speed in which you can pause it if you need to, you can rewind it and move forward. And those are all hosted on our site now for you. There's little links for each of them that will take you to a YouTube video that you can watch or bookmark later. And they're also paired with the how-to guide that's a text-based format as well. Something that I love about this is, since we are very community focused and want to make sure that this stuff continues to be helpful, the FAQ and the how-to sections are built to be kind of living and breathing documents. So as we get feedback from folks who are using this stuff, we'll implement that feedback into the system. So if you are like, I have a really good question, I haven't seen it posted up there, feel free to send that to us, because those are things that as we start to help the community, other community members might give us advice that we haven't seen yet and be able to share as we strengthen each other's kind of journey through this new system. We want to hit the next web page. And there's a really cool QR code that you can scan. It will take you right there. This is just an example of one of the Spanish videos and document formats. As you can see, it just kind of points you to where you need to click with a box around it. And the text-based one has a link at the very top that you can click in the PDF form, and it takes you right to where you need to go. So you're not like, where do I click on this? It's right at the top. And then we can go to the next slide. And this is just a version of the English one as well. They're all kind of identical video format. As we continue through this, we're going to be adding in voiceover in both English and Spanish. Right now it's just text-based, so if you don't have computer speakers that are good or headphones that you can use, people can still watch through these and gain content from it. And then let's go on to the next slide here. Awesome. So this is the part that I think is really cool. We are going to all be receiving in November a paper bill. Even if you have paperless billing, since we're moving into this new system, the bill will look a little bit different. So you're going to get that for the first time. And that's the information you're going to use to go in and attach your utility billing account. You can make a portal account, but that will link you into a bunch of other services in the future. Right now, it's just utility billing. And from there, once you've signed up for that, in that first bill, it will have your account number and your customer ID numbers. And that's how you attach your utility billing account to this portal in there. And what I'm going to do is hand it over to Darren next for a demo.
All right, Rob, if you could stop sharing so I could share. And yes, my name is Darren Black. I'm the utility billing supervisor for the city of Tigard. Like Will was saying, I'm going to be showing you a demo of what our utility billing resident access is going to look like for our residents and utility customers. So once I just click in here to share my screen, I'll be able to get going. All right, here we go. All right, so right here, this is our launch pad. So we've already seen just kind of snippets of examples of what these look like, but this is in real life. I'm on the website right now. This is what it's going to look like once you actually go in here. So we have a couple of different options here. We do have a quick pay option, or you could sign in or sign up. This quick pay option right here can be utilized if you don't want to register for an account, or you just don't feel like actually just going through the process of signing in. You'll be able to select this option right here. It just will require you to have your customer ID number and your account number, which is why we're recommending that once you get your first November bill, it'll have all that information on there. But for our purposes here, I'm going to go ahead and sign in right here. Okay, so this is the login page right here. Below this is where you're going to be able to register for your account. Will had already kind of shown that process, but we do have the materials to be able to help you along that process as well. But for our purposes, and to save some time, I've already registered and added an account and everything to my portal. So I'm going to go ahead and log in here. And this is real time, so it does take a second to load up and everything. Okay. So this is the hub. This is what it's going to look like when you actually log into your account. Right here, it's going to have your name. So right here it has my name, Darren Black. It's got that total account balance right here, and then the next payment due date for your bill. On the left-hand side, you'll be able to manage your accounts. If you happen to be a rental property owner or a business owner that has multiple properties, or if you're just a resident looking to discontinue your service and add a new account on there once you move out, you'll be able to manage your accounts right here. Below is your account detail. This is going to give you a summary of your account information. This is where you're going to be able to update if you have a different mailing address or phone number. You'll also be able to view PDF copies of your bill. Below, under here, the transactions, you'll be able to review every payment that you made on your account and the days that those payments were made. On there, it would also show when each bill was posted to your account. Below here, a pretty cool function that I particularly like, you'll be able to look at your consumption history. We are adding 2 years of the last consumption history for each utility account. You'll be able to view a graph that'll look like this. It will show this year and from the previous year, as well as to have more of a kind of a numeric value if you wanted to see what your usage is per month. And then under the contact preferences, like Will was talking about before, this is where you'll be able to re-sign up for e-billing. If you're currently signed up for e-billing under our old software in Springbrook, once we're switching over, you will have to re-sign up again. So that's why everybody is receiving a paper bill for the first time. And that's when we're encouraging people at that point, once you receive your bill, go ahead and go online and register for your account. And then on there as well, like what I talked about previously too, is where you'll be able to sign up for bill reminders. Those goes with text message, email, or phone call. That's a fantastic function. I think if you're able to do so, and if you don't mind us kind of bugging you via text message and or a phone call, please sign up. Okay, we're going to go back up over here. So the 3 things I also want to point to is here where you could pay your bill, enroll in auto pay, or schedule a future payment. I'm going to go ahead and click into the pay your bill option right here. Okay, so this is a start right here. You're going to be able to verify this is your account number, this is your service address, and then it's going to state when your next due date is and the total balance owing on your account. If you do want to do a different form of payment, you'll be able to update that right here. And then once you go on and continue on to the next page, that's where you'll be able to make the choice if you are going to make the payment now or you can schedule it for later. And this little part is loading up right here. And then something a little different. So like before, you can make a payment with a debit or credit card, but now you do have an option to do an e-check as well, which is not something we've had previously. So this is a new option for our customers to be able to utilize. And then I'm going to go back to the hub here, and we're going to take a look at the enroll in autopay. I really wanted to kind of pinpoint this part here because how easy it is to be able to do so. Like the previous page we're looking at, we're confirming your account number, your customer ID number, and then the service address as well as the balance and the next due date on here. So to enroll in autopay, you're just going to click this button right here. And then this is kind of like with the final page letting you know, hey, you're enrolling in autopay. Once you're enrolled, it's going to be drafted on the next payment due date. And then once you review the information here and you feel comfortable, you can click enroll again. And right here, you'll be able to select the option if you want to sign up with a debit or credit card or with an e-check. And whatever selection you choose, you just go in and fill out your information here. And then once you click finish, you are all set up. You're set up for autopay. It's pretty simple. Another option I always highly encourage people to do. It's amazing. I do this for a living, but I forget my bill a lot, and so I don't live in Tigard, so that's okay. I won't get in trouble with myself, but it's, just something to be aware of. Anyways, the last thing I'm going to show here, I'm going to go back to our hub, is the additional information tab right here. So if you do have any, once you get your first bill, if you have any questions about the bill itself, or if you need assistance with the website navigating anything, or if you just want to talk to us, we're pretty fun people, this is our contact information right here. So that does conclude the demonstration here. If y'all have any questions, we are happy to ask.
Thank you. For those who don't know, one of the City Council goals is to modernize and improve city services, and this is how we're delivering our goal to the community. A lot of the way that the City of Tigard was doing things as far as software hadn't been updated in a really long time, and so several years ago now, City Council authorized moving to Total Tyler Technologies, and it's been an extremely heavy lift on our city team to be able to do this. And so it's exciting because we know on the background there have been some changes with the finance department and other things. And now this is the first customer facing change to show all of the hard work that our team has been doing. So a couple of things I want to highlight. Auto pay will not roll over. And I'm saying that for myself too. Open your mail from the city of Tigard. Auto pay will not roll over. Please log in, register. If you are auto paying, go ahead and enroll again. It looks very easy to do. Thank you for showing us. And I assume our current account number is not going to be our new account number.
Yeah, that is correct. Yeah, it's going to be a little different. And so the one thing just to kind of differentiate between the two, there is a customer ID number and there is account number. The customer ID number is unique to the customer. If you were to move in and around the city, that number is going to follow you. However, the account number, that's just going to stay with the property. So whoever moves into that property is still going to have that same account number. It's just the customer number is going to change depending who's going to move in there.
Imagine a scenario with me if someone did not open their City of Tigard mail and perhaps threw it away or whatever and noticed they didn't pay or any of those sorts of things. Will there be an option to call in to the team to get the information needed after verifying some information?
Oh yeah, absolutely. You could call anytime, obviously Monday through Thursday while we're here. But yeah, absolutely. If you don't have that information readily available, you could call one of our reps and we'll be able to assist you.
Excellent. Other questions? I'm excited. I mean, yeah, Councillor Shaw.
I'm thrilled. I think modernization is fantastic, and I think having a frequently asked questions, the FAQ as a living document is key. And just being that customer friendly, fantastic. Well, for those hypothetically using the mayor's example, let's say somebody does not open their mail and does not sign up within a month or so, is there a grace period?
Yes, there is currently a grace period. At the moment, we have suspended all of our penalty process as well as our normal shut-off procedures. You know, like what I was saying earlier, and I said that a lot tonight, but nobody really likes change. And again, I do this for a living, but I don't open my mail a lot, and so I suspect there's probably going to be a lot of people like me that aren't aware of the changes that are happening. And so we want to make sure we do our due diligence to just to kind of bring awareness, just to be there for the community to make sure to help along through that process. And so that's why city management had decided to postpone our penalty process as well as the shut-off procedures as well. And so once we start gearing up to start doing that again in January, there will be ample communication to the public, letting people know prior to that happening.
And I'll just add, I think the city is doing a blitz on getting the information out there, including my mayor's corner. Councillor Wolf?
Thank you, Mayor. And that's what I was going to say. I think the city's done a great job of every time I turn around, there's a flyer or a promotion. And I laugh, we keep talking about open mail. I feel like with my younger friends, it's also about going to get your mail and that there actually is paper of value in that box. So I'm assuming email communications, all those things to people who tend to not get anything in paper that they care about. So good. Thank you.
We also have a question from the audience, which normally doesn't happen. Can you come up and come to a microphone so anyone watching online can hear you?
Hi, Tigard residents, and I do bill pay through my bank. Will I need to change anything about that?
Yes, because right now through your bill pay, I'm assuming you probably have your account number on there and everything. So there is going to be your new customer ID number as well as the account number. So I would highly recommend once you do get your first bill and you get that information, absolutely you'd want to go through your bill pay and update that information. There'll also be a new Dropbox address as well, and so something to keep your eye out on that bill. We'll have it stated on there, but absolutely you'd want to update that.
Great question. Thank you. City Manager Reimer?
Thanks, Mayor. Excuse me. I just want to say thanks to the team, not only all the teammates that set the work up, and it's been months and years, but the team that's going to continue to serve our community. I mean, you're here today from Utility Billing. Just to say thanks in advance for working with our community and our customers, just to make sure this is a smooth transition. So great job tonight, and thank you. You hit it.
Thank you so much. The next item on our agenda is a community organization update, and we have Tualatin Riverkeepers and Meals on Wheels people, and we have our financial confidential executive assistant, Lindsay Bartholomew, here to give the teammate report. Welcome.
Thank you.
Hello, Mayor.
Are you all able to hear me? Are you able to hear me?
Yeah, Glenn, we can hear you.
Okay, great. I appreciate it. Thank you, Mayor Lou. My name's Glenn Fee. I'm the Executive Director of Tualatin Riverkeepers.
Hey, Glenn. Glenn,
Yes.
could you hold on a minute? Lindsay's just going to do an introduction for you, and then we'll get you
Oh, I'm
started.
so sorry.
No, that's okay. It's nice
Yeah.
to see you. Welcome.
Thank you.
Awesome. Hello, Mayor and Council. I'm Lindsay, the Confidential Executive Assistant for the Finance Department. And this is a continuation of the prior presentations. We've invited a few more of the fiscal year 25 grant awardees to share with you about the organizations and how city grant funds are being used to support the Tiger community. The two organizations tonight are Tualatin Riverkeepers and Meals on Wheels people. Thank you.
All right, Glenn, it's all yours.
Great, thank you. And Lindsay, I appreciate you helping me figure out how to do this online. I injured myself last week and I'm pretty hobbled right now, so I really, I'd rather be there, but it's great to see everyone. So I'm Glenn Fee, I'm Executive Director of Tualatin Riverkeepers. Quick background about who we are. Tualatin Riverkeepers protects and restores the Tualatin River watershed. We've been around since 1993. We were founded by a group of residents of the watershed, including many Tigard residents who are concerned about the quality of water in the Tualatin River. It is a completely different river than it was a generation ago, and now it's really becoming a regional recreational amenity, and we're really proud of that. Most of you probably know us from our rental facility at Cook Family Park. We were really excited this year to move our rental across the parking lot, Riverside, so that people who are coming along the trail can engage with our staff members there. And it was a huge, huge success this year. So thanks to Rick Grun and his team and to the city for kind of allowing us to make that transition. I'll talk for a moment about our work with Tigard. We lead paddles throughout the summer with Tigard Parks and Recreation camps. I believe it's 6 of them per summer. We do 1 a week with the different camps there. We work with Rick and the Tigard Parks Advisory Board. We generally get the advisory board out on a paddle, help them learn about what the river's like, what recreation is like, the conditions at the launch. And a big piece of what we do is restoration work. So we work at Dirksen Nature Park and Summer Lake Parks. We are, about 2/3 of the way through a $100,000 grant that we received to do a restoration over 6.5 acres at Dirksen Nature Park. This Thursday, for example, we have 75 volunteers coming out from Brew Dr. Kombucha to help us do some invasive species removal and planting. And at Summer Lake Park, we've been doing a lot of work on the islands there, which is super exciting. We put canoes together as bimarans, so they're really stable. We can bring up to 8 people out to the islands on those canoes. We do turtle monitoring out there, and we also remove some of the invasive species that are inhibiting some of the native turtles from nesting on the islands. And then the other big thing we do is we do a number of paddles out of Cook Park, Cook Family Park. And I'll talk about some of the ones that Tigard helped us fund this year. One of the big ones is we do an annual paddle with the Clean Water Services Board, which includes all of our county commissioners. So it's a great opportunity for us to get county commissioners out, talk to them about what we see as both needs and opportunities along the river and in our watershed. We bring groups out there. We brought the Intertwine Alliance out on a paddle this year. Intertwine is a group of parks leaders from throughout the metro region. And it was really great that we were able to showcase Cook Family Park and the incredible launch that we have there with parks leaders from around the region. There's a lot of jealousy, I can tell. We through the funding from the city, we were able to do two of our projects this summer. The first one was Discovery Day, and it was interesting because this one was not actually. We didn't launch from Cook Family Park, but we passed by it. So Discovery Day is our annual event. It's been running for 31 years. So as long as we've been an organization, we pick a different section of river each year to highlight. One that we think is a section that we think either has some risks or ones that we want to celebrate. And certainly in this case, we wanted to celebrate the waterfront in Tigard and Tualatin during the paddle. So we launched at King City Community Park. We put up a temporary floating dock, and we had about 150 paddlers and volunteers. This was the same day of the Balloon Festival, so it was really a lot of energy along there. They paddled from King City Community Park to Tualatin Community Park. But the important piece is along the way, we put signs up. There were probably 15 signs, talked about the history of the river. So there's some really, really fun history of some of the old dance halls that are along the river. We talked about some of the work that the city of Tigard is doing to both improve and build a new launch. Really important for us to share some of the successes that are happening. And so all the paddlers stopped at Cook Family Park, where we had one of our volunteers talking about the work that the city of Tigard's doing, and then a little bit about the history there. And then finally, we held 2 full moon paddles. So we did apply for funding for a full moon paddle, which we've done historically just once in July. We decided there's so much interest in it. We held 2 of them. We held one in July and one in August. And it worked out really well. We advertised these to Tigard residents first. So we did not put these up on our website or put these out to the public. Tigard advertised these paddles, and we were able to fill them mostly from Tigard residents, as far as we could tell. It was people who registered prior to them going public. So I think a great way for us to really expand our partnership with the city is having these paddles out of Cook Family Park that are ones that we historically have held, and they're open to all residents, but it's really a fun way for us to reward and engage Tigard residents for being such amazing hosts for almost a decade now. So that's it for my report. I really wanted to kind of highlight some of the things that we've been doing with the city. It seems like we do something on a weekly basis with the city of Tigard, whether it's at one of the 2 parks. We even do work out at Lossage Lane as well. In hopes of that being a future Tigard Park at one time, and we're really expanding a lot of the paddles that we do, such as the full moon paddle. We have one this Saturday that is a autumn colors paddle. We're actually going to be launching out of Browns Ferry for this one. We try to vary that each year, but there's really endless things that we can do as long as there's a desire, and there certainly seems to be one. So I'll end it there. I'll see if there's questions, but if not, I just want to say thanks. Tigard is as the mayor learned last year when Tigard received our highest award, just an incredible partner, and we're so appreciative.
Thank you, Glenn. Questions? Yeah, Councilor Shaw.
Maybe not a question, but I had the opportunity to be in a hot air balloon, and we didn't quite make it back for a variety of reasons into the field we were attempting to land at, so we ended up landing at the Cook Park dock, right in that parking lot, and several kayakers and paddleboarders came to the dock, got out, and helped bring our balloon down, and it was fabulous. And we've got a host of pictures with kayakers and paddleboarders and our captain of our balloon. It was just a really fun community event that turned out. So I just want to say thank you, because your event helped us, and we have lots of great pictures now.
Oh, that's pretty amazing serendipity. Thanks for sharing that.
Glenn, I just want to thank you for everything that Tualatin River Keepers does to also provide access to individuals who wouldn't be able to experience the river and the water without what you do. I think about, our kids camps in the summers, that some of our kids camps actually partner with Tualatin River Keepers and are able to go out and experience the water. Some of those kids for the first time, right? Maybe their parents aren't water people, or they don't have the resources to have the kayaks. And I think one of the things as Oregonians, at least for me, that I find most special is our partnership with where we live. And we're so lucky in Tigard to have Cook Family Park, and we're so lucky to be in partnership with the Tualatin River Keepers, and I mean in all of our parks, but I think especially just being good stewards of the Tualatin River and really having that partnership and being able to expose other generations and other individuals who maybe otherwise wouldn't have that is really incredible. And I'm just sorry that I missed both the full moon paddle and like the autumn colors coming up. I am not paying enough attention because that sounds really fun.
It is. We're going to get a beautiful day this Saturday. And the full moon paddles, we might expand to 3 next year, June, July, August. So I'm going to put a note to send you an email prior to that so we can get you out on it.
Oh, thank you for that special treatment. But yeah, and also, I mean, it's not just about the Tualatin River. So, you know, having 75 individuals in Dirksen Nature Park and maintaining that is just incredible. So thank you for your partnership. I know Councilor Wolf has a question.
Glenn, it's just a comment, because now I'm reflecting back. Councilor Schlack and I both served on the social services grant, and just recalling the amount we were able to fund for you. You know, we had multiple conversations about, I think, double the request, triple the financial request. And I just love how you took a $5,000 pot of money and just were very strategic with it and could really leverage those resources. So thank you for being creative and just being filled with gratitude of the funding that you got and really keeping that partnership strong. And I just appreciate you. So thank you.
Thank you. It really did make a difference. So thank you.
Well, thank you so much for being here, Glenn, and I hope you feel better soon. Not being able to get around is tough. So we will see you soon.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
And next we have B. Davis with Meals on Wheels people. Welcome, B. Come on up. You will just want to turn on the microphone and it'll turn green. There's a button on the front. We're excited to have you.
Lovely to be here. See a lot of folks. I don't know how long ago I was here. Didn't feel that long ago. But nice to see you all. My name is B. Davis. My pronouns are she, her. I am the grants manager at Meals on Wheels People, also the EDI chair. Here to talk a little bit about Meals on Wheels People and specifically our Tigert Center, but I never know what people do know about Meals on Wheels and what they don't. I was talking to them, where you work, and I said Meals on Wheels, and he was like, is that like a food cart? Oh, you just make this assumption. He was like, it sounded delicious. I was like, you make this assumption that everyone knows. So our Meals on Wheels, we've been around since 1970. We operate in Multnomah, Washington counties in Oregon, and then Clark County up in Washington. So we are a little bit bigger, but yeah. And then, of course, I'm assuming most folks here know we have a Tigert Center at the Tigert Senior Center. So that's our senior nutritional program. It's open to all community members who are 60 years or older. So kind of what everyone knows Meals on Wheels for is home meal delivery. We still do that, but we also have congregate dining, and a big part of our mission is not just nutritional support, but social supports as well, and congregate dining is one of those ways where you can offer that, where a lot of folks, they have their little group, everyone sits at assigned seating. The seats are not assigned, but you sit at assigned seating, they have their group, and they meet up once a week, all the time, and that's just really their time to get out of the house, their time to socialize, all of that. So congregate whenever, if you ever can stop in. I don't know why you would, but if you ever could stop in, it's really cool to just see the relationship that folks build and all that they talk about. So we have congregate dining. We've just started. For a while we were doing 2 days a week. Now we're up to 3 days a week. I'm talking about Tigert Center. So Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, we have congregate dining. We serve lunch, and we have a host of volunteers. Again, it's a lot of returning volunteers that help serve out the food and just clean up and socialize with all of the folks there, which is just, it's always really nice to see those relationships that develop over the years. A lot of folks have been going there forever. It's just really cool to see. On site, because it is at the senior center, there's a lot of on-site activities that we're able to offer, and then a lot of that is from local volunteers who volunteer their time. There's one woman, she does live music, and if you saw it, you know what I'm talking about. And she goes to she does the center in Tigert, she goes up to Vancouver, she goes downtown, all over, and she'll do once a month and just get on stage and play guitar and share music. So live music is always fun. I got to visit all of the centers recently, just kind of as grants and seeing how they're all different. And at Tigert, they had the quilting club was meeting, and so they brought out their stash of quilts, and I don't know how they do it. Like it was pretty amazing, and it was just this group that kind of came together, and they do their own thing, but they routinely go ever so often, and they just make quilts and they give them out and all sorts of things. It's really nice. We have someone who does Reiki treatments. Again, just someone that volunteers their time, and that's a way that they're giving back to the community. There's art classes. They do bingo, mahjong. Something that's really cool is we got 3 computers donated, I believe, from the Tigert Library, and a librarian volunteers his time to do tech classes and just help folks navigate computers and whatnot. It's a way to stay connected with family and friends, because, okay, you have a smartphone, but if you don't know how to use a smartphone, it's not very smart. So he's really good about showing them things like that and just other things on the computer, keeping people active and engaged, which is just really nice to see. Something that we do on a bigger scale for social programming is our Friendly Chats program. And with that, there's match volunteers who call the same volunteer every week. They chat about people have other interests than knitting, but that is one of the topics that has come up a lot, is just chatting about their interests and things that they like to do. And then there's unmatched volunteers where, you know, maybe you don't have a set schedule, but you just call. It's something our CEO does. Call whoever needs, like, you know, their person's on vacation or what have you. Call and just chat them up, and it's a little bit more on your own time, so it's a little bit more flexible. It is not something I have done just because I get so much anxiety talking over the phone, but I still would recommend, because it's really cool. And I talk to the folks who after they do it, and that's how I connect. So there's so many different ways. I like to do home delivery. That's my in person. I talk fast. Like, are you gauging what I'm saying? And then of course we have, like I said, the traditional that everyone knows, home delivery. With that, because we are on a 4-day week schedule, so Monday through Thursday. But with that, before we went to the 4-day week schedule, folks got 1 meal a week, and so, or 1 meal every day, so they had to be home. Some people do have social lives and cannot be at home from noon to 1 every day or what have you. So now what we've started doing, and it's been a few years and it's been very successful, is 1 day a week. You get your deliveries, they're flash frozen food, so that you can take that out when you need it. But of course, if you need it more often, that's also an option. Something cool, the Tigert Center, now that it's back at the Tigert Senior Center, because that was under remodel for quite a while, but now that they're there, they've started doing some cultural events, and that's something we're doing across the organization. That's kind of where my EDI chair comes in, but hosting different cultural events like Lunar New Year. They did a really big Juneteenth celebration, which was really nice. They had never done that before, and we got some local artists to come out, and there was like spoken poetry, and just, I don't know, it was just a really great vibe with that. But I mean, they always cook delicious meals, but like you get like a little special meal on those holidays and those celebrations. So the plan is to add that more often to all of the centers, but especially the ones what makes sense for the community that's served wherever they happen to be located. All right, I've been talking a lot. Thank you.
It's exciting, though. You're obviously very passionate about it.
I can keep going, but
yeah.
All right, let's.
Yeah. Are there questions or comments? I mean, I'm happy to talk about it. I think Meals on Wheels is such an incredible program, right? Especially coming out of COVID, our country is in an epidemic of loneliness, right? And it is affecting our mental health and the way that we interact with each other and the way that we feel about ourselves. And listing off all of the different ways that you are combating that is incredible. So there's the in-person congregate dining, there's the different activities for individuals, knitting and mahjong and all those other things is really incredible. But for some of those individuals who maybe aren't able to leave their houses or not as often, you are the person that they talk to, right? You couldn't be their one connection, and that's incredible for them to be able to get a hot or flash frozen, soon to be hot, meal that helps provide for them. And so my grandmother was an individual who got Meals on Wheels, and so I have a special soft spot in my heart for what you do for our community members. So thank you so much for being here to talk about it. And I'm so excited that Tigert can support it, especially with our grant program. Did that spur any additional questions or comments from anyone other than thank you for being here? Oh, yeah, Counselor Shaw.
So you mentioned it's Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, lunch or dinner. If we just want to stop in and see.
Yeah, so that was congregate lunch. I want to say noon to 1. If not, it's in that area. So that's the Monday through Wednesday where folks are coming into the center. And then because it is the senior center, there's always stuff going on even when we're not on site. Yep.
Thank you, B.
Yeah,
I appreciate
Thank you. I appreciate it.
The next item on our agenda tonight is the board, committee, and commission appointments, and we have Assistant to the City Manager, Nicole Hendricks, here to give the teammate report.
Sorry. Good evening, Mayor and Council. My name is Nicole Hendricks, Assistant to the City Manager. Excited to bring forward this item tonight to recommend appointments for our various city boards and committees. These recommended appointees are community members who have offered to volunteer their time and energy to serve our community in a pretty special way. So board applications are open year-round for people to apply to any of our boards. For this time around, all of our boards had openings except for our Water Advisory Board. We do a larger recruitment effort for applications in the summer, and then we interview applicants over the last month, and now tonight before you all for consideration. I want to thank all of the recommended appointees who are here tonight, both in person with their families and tuning in virtually. We do have celebratory cookies and treats in the back, so please take some. And then for time's sake, we're asking all of the resolutions be considered first. And then once all of those are done, we'll do some group photos in the front for appointees and all of City Council to take pictures with our Polaroid too. And that's it. So thank you. And Mayor, I'll hand it back over to you.
Yeah, thank you. It's a really incredible thing. It's a heavy lift to get all of these interviews in, and they're very fast-paced. They're only 15 minutes, but I ask everybody 4 questions. I guess spoiler for anyone who's applying in the future. Why are you interested? What would you change about Tigard? What do you like about Tigard? And what questions do you have for us? And it's an incredible insight into our community members who want to serve our community. And it's awesome to see the diverse variety of individuals who are willing to give their time. And I want to thank you and thank your loved ones and your friends and your family, because you're also giving up time doing other things, perhaps, hanging out with your family, holding your children welcome, and all of these other sorts of things to make the community in which you live a better place. And that is one of my favorite things about Tigard when I started serving, is really getting to know the community. It's a community where when you ask for help, people stand up and they want to help. And that's what all of you have done. You've answered the call to serve. And I loved getting to know all of you. I loved all of your comments and critiques. That's what I want to hear in order to what we can do to make Tigard better. So we did everything possible to fit everybody in with a Tetris. So I guess I will open it up if anybody has any questions. But yeah, would love to pass the resolutions and then everyone stand up so we can take some pictures. Yeah, we can do motions. Questions, motions. We can get started. Poor City Recorder Krager is going to be tired with all the talking.
Great. So, Mayor, I'm going to go ahead and start the first motion. I move to approve resolution number 24-23.
I'll second.
It's been moved and seconded. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, will the city recorder read the name and number of the resolution?
Resolution number 24-23. A resolution reappointing Byron Scott as a voting member, reappointing Nikki Walker as a voting member, reappointing Fiona Earle as a voting member, and appointing Kelly Piment as an alternate to the Audit Committee.
Thank you. Youth Councilor Meinany, will you give an advisory vote?
Yes.
Thank you. All of those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Seeing none, resolution 24-23 is adopted by unanimous vote of the council present. Congratulations. Yay, Audit Committee. If you want to wave your hands, if you're one of those people, just so we can see. I see two of you. Thank you. Thank you for your service.
Okay, I move to approve resolution number 24-24.
I second the motion.
It's been moved and seconded. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, will the city recorder read the name and number of the resolution?
Resolution number 24-24, a resolution appointing Ethan Postrel, Lauren Poling, Amber Wilkie, and Gregory Brown as voting members, and appointing Shar Banerjee as an alternate member of the Budget Committee.
Thank you. Youth Councilor Meinany, we'll start with you for an advisory vote.
Yes.
All of those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Seeing none, Resolution 24-24 is adopted by unanimous vote of the council present. Yay, congratulations, Budget Committee. Is there anyone here to raise your hand? Yay. All right.
Mayor, I move to approve resolution number 24-25.
I'll second the motion.
Thank you. It's been moved and seconded. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, will the city recorder read the name and number of the resolution?
Resolution number 24-25, a resolution appointing Maria Rue and Rafael Palacios as members to the Committee for Community Engagement.
Thank you. Youth Councilor Meinany, will you start with an advisory vote?
Yes.
Thank you. All of those in favor, please say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Resolution 24-25 is adopted by unanimous vote of the council present. And I see both of them here, if you would raise your hand.
Okay, just go.
Yeah.
I move to approve resolution number 24-26.
I'll second.
Thank you. It's been moved and seconded. Is there any discussion on the motion? Seeing none, will the city recorder read the name and number of the resolution?
Resolution number 24-26, a resolution appointing Helen Allen as a voting member of the Library Board.
Thank you. That is Helen Allen and her baby. Youth Councilor Meinany, will you give an advisory vote?
Yes.
Thank you. All of those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Seeing none, Resolution 24-26 is adopted by unanimous vote of the council present. Thank you.
Mayor, I'd like to move on the next, which is regarding Parks Recs Advisory Board. Is there a motion? I'm going to make it. I move to approve resolution number 24-27.
Seconded.
Thank you. It's been moved and seconded. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, will the city recorder read the name and number of the resolution?
Resolution number 24-27, a resolution reappointing Skip Hack and Denise Stevens as voting members and appointing Veronica Johnson as an alternate member to the Park and Recreation Advisory Board.
Thank you. Youth Councilor Meinany, will you provide an advisory vote?
Yes.
Thank you. All of those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Resolution 24-27 is adopted by unanimous vote of the council present. Thank you. Is anyone here to raise your hand for PRAB? Welcome.
Mayor, I move to approve resolution number 24-28.
I second the motion.
It's been moved and seconded. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, will the city recorder read the name and number of the resolution?
Resolution number 24-28, a resolution reappointing Craig Shook and April Sabe as voting members and appointing Elizabeth Sprague as an alternate non-voting member of the Tigard Planning Commission.
Thank you. Youth Councilor Meinany, will you please provide an advisory vote?
Yes.
Thank you. All of those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Resolution number 24-28 is adopted by unanimous vote of the council present. Do we have anyone from Planning Commission here? Excellent, welcome. All right, we're getting close, people.
Mayor, I move to approve resolution number 24-29.
Seconded.
It's been moved and seconded. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, will the city recorder read the name and number of the resolution?
Resolution number 24-29, a resolution reappointing Gabriel Velasquez as a voting member and appointing Sarah Erickson and Karen Morello as voting members to the Town Center Advisory Commission.
Thank you. Youth Councilor Minany, will you provide an advisory vote?
Yes.
Thank you. All of those in favor, please say aye.
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 Any opposed? Seeing none, the resolution 24-29 is approved by unanimous vote of the council present. I'm starting to lose what I'm supposed to say. Do we have anyone here for the Town Center Advisory Commission? Yes, there's Karen.
Mayor, I move to approve resolution number 24-30.
Seconded.
It's been moved and seconded. Is there any discussion on the motion? Seeing none, will the city recorder read the name and number of the resolution?
Resolution 24-30, a resolution reappointing Sean Martinez and Michael Hendrickson as voting members and appointing Mick Stevens, David Jerry Hahn, and Carrie Campbell as voting members to the Tigard Transportation Advisory Committee.
Thank you. Youth Councilor Minany, will you provide an advisory vote?
Yes.
Thanks. All of those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Seeing none, resolution number 24-30 is unanimously approved by the council present. Is there anyone here for the Tigard Transportation Advisory Committee? Excellent. And I believe this is the last one to wrap us up.
Mayor, I move to approve resolution number 24-31.
Seconded.
It's been moved and seconded. Is there any discussion on the motion? Seeing none, will the city recorder read the name and number of the resolution?
Resolution number 24-31, a resolution reappointing Maddie Vogel, Isla Leninger, Scarlett Vince Shiloh, Kimberly Vargas, Kailani Rue, Faith Lee, and Chloe Wilson, and appointing Samantha Jensen and Sam Lawback as members to the Tigard Youth Advisory Council.
Thank you. Youth Councilor Minany, will you provide an advisory vote?
Yes.
Is that an enthusiastic yes?
Very.
Excellent. All of those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Seeing none, resolution 24-31 is approved by unanimous vote of the council present. And we have some youth advisory members. Please raise your hands. Excellent. So if you were tuning in by video, feel free to go ahead and take a break. We're going to break and take some pictures with everyone who wants them. And we have cupcakes in the back, so feel free to enjoy some of those. And we'll just go ahead and get started in the same order. So anyone on the audit committee, we'll get started with you. Come on up, everyone.
That's all of us.
Do you guys want to come around? Yes. Yeah. Yeah. Do you need new City of Tiger pens? I still have one. Okay. No, it's fine. You don't have to have another one. I just don't want to waste it. Have the board? Yeah. Welcome.
All right, ready? Okay, 1, 2, 3, and one more. 1, 2, 3. Perfect.
Excellent. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate everything you do from that. Committee for Community Engagement, come on up. Hello, welcome. We may be the first mother-daughter duo that we have serving over here. Okay, yes.
Ready? 1, 2, 3. One more. 1, 2, 3.
Thank you. Thank you. Library board. Helen. Yep, she's coming up. Yeah. Our mascot. Replace Elizabeth on the call. Okay, hold on 1 second. This came open for a reason. Can I come in here? Can I come in here and give it to you? Yeah. There we go. All right, 1, 2, 3. And 1, 2, 3. Oh, I love
Sylvie. Sylvie. Hey.
There we go. So cute. I got a million photos. I'll send them to you.
I sent a funny profile picture for you. Thank you. It was nice to meet you in person. Bye, Helen. Parks and Recreation, Crab. Come on down. Excellent. All right, so hold it your own.
Yeah, thanks. All right. 1, 2, 3. And then 1, 2, 3. Perfect.
Thank you so much. The Planning Commission. Come on up.
Okay, ready? 1, 2, 3. Perfect. And more. 1, 2, 3. Perfect. Thank you.
I know other mayors who've stolen this idea. Yeah. They're like, what? You throw a party? I'm like, yes, we do. Town Center Advisory Commission. Come on up. Welcome, Karen. Oh, nice to meet you. Awesome. Oh, yep. Hi. Hi. There you go. Welcome. Thank you so much for serving.
All right, ready? 1, 2, 3. And 1, 2, 3. Excellent. Thank you.
I think that was the Tiger Transportation? No, that was Tiger Transportation Advisory Commission. It's rips.
Those are so hard.
Oh, the 9 days so strong. I'm so strong.
All right, ready? 1, 2, 3. Perfect.
Thank you for your service to our community.
No, I think, yeah. And I don't think anybody would mind Friday at this point in the evening to just kind of run through the resolutions. No, that was a great idea. Right. And see government at work. Exactly. Whether you like it or not. That was swell. It is fun, but doing all the resolutions together.
Yeah, I was like, we don't need to go up and down, especially with all the council.
Yeah.
Like, so thank you for being efficient.
Well, no, it's a great idea.
That is one of my favorite things to do.
Yeah, it's always,
Oh.
it's always feel good.
It did get hot in here, though. We are not used to that many people. All right. Thank you, everybody, for being patient with us. That was a lot of fun to officially welcome our board and committee members in a super fun way to get a nice, fun picture with the entire council and also partake in some cupcakes, which look like they were very popular. So excellent. We are now going to go act as the Town Center Development Agency. So we have some nameplates to swap out because we have different titles. And so we have a Town Center Development Agency consideration of a development assistance agreement, and we have redevelopment project manager Sean Farley here to give the staff report. Oh, and I believe SEPA Housing Director Jillian Sourage Felton? Siraj Felton, okay. And welcome. And please introduce yourself.
Hello there. For the record, my name is Mac Cunningham, and I am a housing developer at Community Partners for Affordable Housing.
Welcome, Mac. All right.
Thanks, Will. I'm Sean Farley, Redevelopment Manager, and tonight the board of the TCDA will consider a resolution authorizing the City Attorney and Executive Director to finalize and sign a development assistance agreement with Community Partners for Affordable Housing. We refer them as SEPA from now on. The agreement will set the terms for $500,000 in development assistance towards the Woodland Hearth project with 63 affordable family-sized apartments. This is the second request for development assistance for the project. On April 27th, 2021, the board approved TCAC recommended $500,000 in development assistance for the project. The award was in the form of a forgivable loan, and that was used to help SEPA acquire the property. The development assistance agreement specified the loan would be forgiven upon the completion of the project. If the new application is approved, the total amount of development assistance would be $1 million for this project. There has been some increased financial gaps since 2021 in the Woodland Hearth project, escalation in construction costs, and the decrease in the value of the low-income housing tax credit. In addition, it's a very challenging site from an infrastructure point of view, and they need to bring all new utilities to the site, and that's increased the project cost by about $2.7 million. To partially address that, the city did successfully advocate at the state level for $1.5 million in state funding to help defray those costs. TCDA, we have a real estate advisor who reviews all requests for development assistance, goes through the project's pro forma and confirms that there is a need for the assistance, and in this case he did so and did find that there is a $500,000 gap in the project finances. The Town Center Advisory Commission reviewed the funding request, and they recommended approval of the $500,000 in development assistance. That was on September 11th. They found that the project will significantly add to the supply of much-needed, deeply affordable and family-sized apartments in Tigard. The new Tigard Triangle Equitable Development Strategy identified affordable housing funding as one of their top priorities, and there is sufficient budget in the TCDA Triangle budget for FY 24-25, budgeted $1.5 million for affordable housing development assistance. SEPA has a presentation to talk a little bit about their organization and more specifics about the project. So I'll let them take it away.
Thank you. Hi. As you said, my name is Jillian. My pronouns are she, her. I'm the housing director at Community Partners for Affordable Housing. And we can go to this nice little mock-up of what the building will look like when it's done. And we can go to the next slide, please. So SEPA's been around for about 3 decades. We actually started just up the street here at St. Anthony's Church, in the basement of St. Anthony's Church. A group of concerned Tigard citizens noticed that people in their church were struggling to find safe and affordable housing in the city of Tigard, and SEPA was created out of that. Although we don't no longer have the association with the church, we certainly consider Tigard kind of our hometown. And we have several developments in Tigard, another one also in the Tigard Triangle, known as Red Rock Creek Commons. We have Greenberg Oaks. We have several other Tigard projects. So we're really attached to being able to provide quality, safe, affordable housing here. We can go to the next slide, please. So at SEPA, we like to say that we do 5 things. In summary, we build affordable housing. So we build the buildings. We do, the sticks and the bricks. We have a robust asset management program so that those buildings are around and high quality into the future. We provide high quality resident services coordination, and that looks like a lot of different things. So our senior program is called Thriving in Place, and that addresses issues just for seniors in some of our senior buildings or buildings that have a lot of seniors in them. The Knoll here in Tigard is one of our senior buildings. We also have youth programming where we take kids on trips during the summertime and have family nights at our properties. The 4th thing we do is kind of new. It's with the Supportive Housing Services tax levy, where we are now actually providing homeless services coordination. So rapid rehousing, sometimes into SEPA's housing, but more often than not into other housing around the county. And the 5th thing that we do is kind of an unofficial title of just very avid advocates for affordable housing in Tigard and Washington County and across Oregon. So those are the 5 things that SEPA does, and if I may say so myself, we do them all really well. Next slide, please. So we've got about 1,000 residents currently in 11 different buildings, about 530 units in our portfolio. These are a couple of pictures of 2 projects that are in Tigard Village at Washington Square, which, as the name indicates, is very close to Washington Square, and Red Rock Creek Commons, which has Red Rock Creek running through part of it, and that is in the Tigard Triangle. Next slide. So with that, I'm going to hand it over to the project manager for this project to talk a little bit about Woodland Hearth in detail.
Great. Thank you, Jillian. Once again, my name is Mac Cunningham. I'm a housing developer here at SEPA. And so, yes, we're here to talk about Woodland Hearth. Woodland Hearth will feature 63 units of affordable housing. 40 of those units are going to be family-sized, meaning 2, 3, and 4-bedroom units. You can see on the slide here the breakdown of those, ranging from studios to those 4 bedrooms. In addition, we'll have a range of different affordability levels within the building, 26 units at 30% of area median income or below, 11 units at 50% of median area income, and 26 units at 60% of AMI. At this property as well, we will feature 22 units of permanent supportive housing, and we are partnered for those supportive housing services in this project with NARA, or Native American Rehabilitation Association of the Northwest, as well as with Community Action. So Woodland Hearth was conceived many years back prior to the site acquisition in 2021 in coalition with several other community-based organizations along the Southwest Corridor. SEPA engaged in an extensive engagement process to hear the needs and concerns of vulnerable communities who are at risk of displacement in anticipation of that max light rail extension down to Bridgeport Village. And through that engagement, we heard loud and clear the call and imminent need for more deeply affordable housing, more family-sized units in our affordable housing developments, and to co-locate affordable housing in proximity to amenities such as grocery stores, parks, schools, public transit, and the like. And so after hearing all of this feedback, SEPA went through a process to try to identify some parcels, and that is how we came to locate the project site. There's a future slide that will show that location, and I'll walk through that. But SEPA purchased the property in October of 2021. We were successful in our Metro Bond application to Washington County and awarded funds for that in the winter of 2023. We then turned around and applied to the state for permanent supportive housing funding in the spring of 2023, and then had some additional community engagement that following fall of 2023 with those service partner organizations, speaking to folks who have similar lived experience as the future residents of Woodland Hearth, to talk about the best services that we can provide there, the community amenities within the building, and the like, to make sure that Woodland Hearth is a great place to call home and will provide folks that stability they need as they regain their housing. And then we'll start construction in December of this year, and then in summer 2026, we look forward to hopefully having you all at the grand opening of Woodland Hearth. And one quick thing to note before we get on the next slide is we've committed to a 35% participation rate for minority, women-owned, and emerging small businesses. And yes, next slide, please. Great. So now we've talked a little bit about the project more abstractly, we can focus in a little bit on where it is located. So here you can see this site used to be part of a large flag lot. There used to be a RV storage facility and maintenance facility on this, and then that lot, of course, was subdivided in 2021. Woodland Hearth is going to be that top parcel. It's outlined on the slide that you're able to see there. It's basically behind the Hong Fat grocery store on Highway 99 across from Tigard Bowl. It is located in close proximity, of course, to that grocery store, to Fred Meyer, to the existing line 12, which connects downtown Tigard with downtown Portland and Park Rose. It also is going to be located the future rerouting of Line 76, which will connect residents from downtown Beaverton to Tigard to Tualatin and Oregon City, which is really awesome. It is located just north of the Tigard Triangle, but still within the Ouray boundaries, as well as it is located near the future Steve Street Park, which is really exciting. Movie theaters, grocery stores, bowling, just a really great location for folks to have access to a bunch of amenities that they're able to walk through. This slide, you're also able to see there is a direct pedestrian connection, so folks do not have to walk all the way through the neighborhood streets. There is a pedestrian connection next door that allows them to connect directly to Highway 99 there as well. I can go to the next slide, please. Thank you. And so this is zooming in now again more to the site as well. So you can see the site plan. So the south end of that, you see that curved sort of street there. That is going to be a right-of-way extension of Southwest Torchwood Street. The building is shaped like an L. In the center of that L, or in the hearth as we like to call it as part of Woodland Hearth there, it's going to be the primary community outdoor amenity space with a children's playground, a grill area, a gazebo, bike parking, and whatnot. That outdoor seating area and grill is connected right off the community room that is inside the building. And then on the south end there, you can see the community garden. There's going to be 59 parking spaces. 12 spots are going to be EV ready. 42 bike parking spaces throughout the building, solar panels on the roof. We're hoping to partner with the City of Tigard again to hopefully host an e-bike sharing program there. We have that at our Greenberg Oaks property, and residents there love it, and so we're hoping that we'll be able to do something similar here to boost folks' mobility and transit options, as well as preserving 4 mature trees that are on site. We can go to the next slide, please. And then here is just the different elevations. So on the top of the page, you have the north elevation, bottom the south side. On the right, the east, or my right, I should say, the east side, and then the west side there. We're using a variety of resilient materials, including metal wall panels, high-density fiber cement paneling, that's in the gray, and then some other panels that are shaped in silver. And that is sort of the Woodland Hearth at a glance. We can go to the next slide, but I think it just says thank you. And Jillian and I would be happy to take any of the questions that you all have.
Thank you. Questions from council? Yeah, Councilor Wolf.
Thank you all for the presentation, and actually it's more of a comment and a quick question for Sean. But I just, I wonder if there aren't many questions because of your long history and success. I have the good fortune of serving on the CDBG, always get that, my acronym all tied up, but just the consistency that you all deliver in the region in your work is applauded. And I think, Sean, my only follow-up is on the $1.5 million. This is the first disbursement of the $1.5 million, is that correct, for this fiscal year?
That is correct.
Okay.
Yeah, Councillor Shaw.
Hi, excellent presentation. I think it's exciting to have such a project and walkable, as you had mentioned. Given that there's the different units in there, do you have a full-time property manager who's also on site, or do they travel in between your different properties? How does that work?
Yeah, we just actually worked out the staffing plan with property management as we're moving towards closing. So we will have a full-time property manager, so 1 FTE of property management. We are probably going to have about 1 FTE of site maintenance and repairs and cleaning, and maintenance and repairs, about a half-time person doing cleaning and other small things. So it's going to be about 2.5 staff of property management, plus a full-time resident services coordinator from SEPA. So that will be 1 whole FTE, plus the service providers for the permanent supportive housing units. So there's going to be, I think, 4.5 to 5 FTE of staff at this building.
And that's just dedicated for that building specifically?
That's just for this building specifically,
okay,
yeah.
Great. Thank you.
With the units, there are 22 units that are going to be permanent, and the rest of them will be affordable for a minimum of 60 years. Do you have which units are going to be designated permanent, and are they a wide variety of the housing types, or are they more geared towards like the 4-bedroom and 3-bedroom family units?
Yeah, so I'm going to just zoom out a little bit. All of the units are restricted by statute for 60 years. And their affordability, including what's the permanent supportive housing. The permanent part is about how long people can stay there, right? And so that there's transitional housing, there's shelter housing, and then there's permanent housing. Permanent supportive housing has 3 components. It's permanent, so that's in the very first word. It has services attached to it that are available in the building, and it has rent assistance. So when you have those 3 components, you have what really qualifies as a permanent supportive housing unit. So at this building, we have 16 Section 8 vouchers and 6 state PSH vouchers. So those are mostly on 2, 3, and 4-bedroom units. So this is really the permanent supportive housing. This is not the super low barrier housing. This is housing for homeless families. A lot of homeless families who are doubled up, who are in shelter, who have unstable housing, but we will be working with the coordinated access system to get folks that are at the top of the list, that are in the most need, and usually those are families with young children. Does that answer your question?
It does, and thank you, and it helps. I've been spending some time with the U.S. Conference of Mayors Homelessness Task Force talking to the federal government about vouchers and more flexibility with the vouchers and to attach them to the unit and not the person, because there can be challenges. And so this just helps me build a story about something that is being built and how we're using those vouchers in this unit, and the percentages, just to be able to explain it. So thank you for that, because I learned something today.
Yeah. As a nonprofit, I assume we will still be around in 60 years when the affordability restrictions expire, but it would be our intent to always keep all of our units affordable regardless of the income restrictions expiring, because we are a mission-based organization. So we're not an organization that's going to try and flip it to market rate as soon as possible, because we're mission-based.
I appreciate that. I think Tigard started to feel the pinch first when the affordability started expiring, and then it's just incredibly hard to build units and feel like we're getting somewhere, and then the affordability expires, and it's just like chasing our tail. So I appreciate that as well. Did that create any additional questions for Youth Councilor Mainini?
Just about the 63 units of affordable housing. So I'm assuming that's transitional housing then?
No, it's regulated affordable housing, but it's housing just like any other. People can rent as long as they want to stay there. They can stay there as long as they want. So all 63 units are permanent housing.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, Councillor Shaw.
Thank you. I think I know the answer, but the 35% MWESB, the participation rate, that's for construction? Okay, thank you.
And I will add that every letter in that acronym is important, and the S means small. So Colas Construction is our general contractor, and they are a Black-owned construction firm. And LRS Architects are our architects on this, and that is a woman-owned firm. So if you take MBEWBE and you take the S out of it, we're actually closer to 70%.
Thank you. I think in general, we can, I feel like, move on to discussion. This SEPA has been a great partner with the City of Tigard. I think this falls in line with our goals of, creating more units and working to reduce homelessness, and these are deeply affordable units. And so I support the $500,000 request. Is there any other questions or comments or a motion?
Mayor, Chair Lube, I move to approve TCDA resolution number 24-03.
I'll second the motion.
Thank you. It's been moved and seconded. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, will the city recorder read the name and title of the resolution?
TCDA Resolution 24-03. A resolution authorizing the Executive Director of the Town Center Development Agency to sign a development assistance agreement with Community Partners for Affordable Housing for the Woodland Hearth Affordable Housing Project.
Thank you. All of those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Seeing none, the motion is adopted by unanimous vote of the Town Center Development Agency present. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
And we will reconvene as the Tigard City Council. Thank you. Okay. We move the city manager recruitment to next week to accommodate all city councilors. We don't have any non-agenda items, and there is no executive session scheduled. I would entertain a motion to adjourn.
I move to adjourn.
Seconded.
It's been moved and seconded. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor of adjourning, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you so much, Tigard. Good night. We are adjourned.